Let's get our full-blown acceleration here with the Cayenne S. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over this used 2019 Porsche Cayenne S, and we're going to answer the question of whether or not it's good to buy a used Cayenne. This one's got about 9,000 miles, almost 10,000 miles. Other than that, a quick shout out and thank you to the Jaguar Land Rover here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Cayenne S. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. So under the hood of the Cayenne S, we have a twin-turbo 2.9 liter V6. This paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, power outputs are 440 horsepower and then 406 pound-feet of torque. And obviously, we can't see a whole lot because of the giant plastic engine cover. But you can see, it lets us know it's a 2.9 liter V6. Now let's go over the front end of this Cayenne S. So first off, I know it might look black on the camera, but guess what? This car is actually blue. So if you look very closely here in the direct sunlight, you can see it's a dark metallic blue, definitely a beautiful color. Coming down below, we've got the full LED lights with the LED accent lights. I've always liked the Porsche lights because they have the X shape with the LED lights. And then we have another accent light here just down below. And then notice that the rest of the grille actually matches the accenting and it goes all the way across. Pretty cool design detail. We do have parking sensors here along the front end, and then the headlight actually says Porsche in it. We do have the Porsche logo there at the front, and yeah, other than that, there's everything for the front end. And now coming on the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front, and then we've got 305mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the back, so a little bit wider set in the rear. Now, aside from that, they've gone for pretty much just a silver wheel here in the front, and the brake caliper actually matches, which is pretty cool. It says Porsche on it. And then here with the back wheel, same exact design, smaller brake caliper, right? Because you always have bigger brakes in the front. But other than that, here's your full side view. Now let's pop here into the rear of the Cayenne S. So first off, notice we've got the cargo cover right here, and then we've got the netting on the side for a little bit of extra storage. Floor mats happen to be living their life back here, and then we've got this, so you just pull it up, and then you guys can see that's where the spare tire lives out its days. And I actually like this metallic plaque here on the back, but other than that, that's everything for the rear. So notice we've got the two different closing things that you can do. So you've got the lock and close, or just the close. Pretty cool that it gives you an option for both. Now let's finish things up here in the rear, and you can really tell it's blue probably from this angle because of how the sun is hitting it. I've always loved, again, the taillights here on the newer Porsches. They just look really cool and how it goes all the way across. You've got the Porsche logo in the center. Parking sensors down below. And then we've got the quad exhaust tips. You guys will get an exhaust clip in a little bit. But yeah, other than that, that is everything for the rear. Now here's a door panel in the rear. So first off, there actually is an automatic sunshade here for the back that you can open up with the front door, which is pretty cool. And then you actually just have your regular window control. Nice leather all around. Definitely looks and feels really high quality. It's got the Bose sound system. We've got our Cayenne plaque. And then here are the seats in the rear. So really nice leather, perforated leather here down the center portion. And then we do have some vents here for the rear passengers. A little area where they can charge devices. And then we'll pop in so we can see legroom. If you guys are wondering, 5'11" still. Yeah, pretty solid. Let's head to the front. Now here's a door panel in the front. So again, we've got the really nice leather trim here, and then notice we've got more down below, and then we've got this for the hatch. You've got this for the window controls and the shade controls as well. We've got our mirror adjustments, memory seats, door lock and unlock, and then we've got the seats here at the front. So again, full leather, perforated leather all throughout. You've got your adjustments there on the side of the seat, the Cayenne S plaque. Got the pedals just down below, and then this is actually how you turn on the Cayenne. It's that ignition right there. We've got our light controls, and there's one more look before we pop in. So here's the steering wheel in the Cayenne S. Again, really nice leather all around the steering wheel itself. And then we've got normal practical car controls with like the phone controls on one side. And then over here on the other side, you've got like the controls for the volume. And then notice we've got the little cruise control stalk there on the back. We've got the paddle shifters here on the back of the steering wheel. You got your turn signal stalk, windshield wiper stalk, and yeah, that's all for the steering wheel. So here is our very complicated gauge cluster. You guys can see like on the far side, you've got like the temperature, and then we've got like the RPMs in the middle, and then we've got this little thing that we can scroll through a couple different menus. And yeah, there's just a whole lot going on. I mean, it's cool that you can at least see all of the gauges. I guess that's a huge plus, because in some of the Porsches, you can't. But yeah, I kind of miss the old days where they just had the 3 gauges, height, speed, RPMs, and then the screen off to the side. This, I mean, it looks kind of cool, but also it's quite a bit going on. Now, of course, we've got our sport chrono clock there at the top, and then more beautiful leather here at the top of the dash. And then here's the infotainment system. First off, we'll go over the camera part of it. So all you have to do is just pop it into reverse. Notice we've got the backup camera right there, and then with the parking sensors in the front and the rear, the trajectory lines do turn with the steering wheel. Just Audi's camera system pretty much. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's pretty easy to use. First off, response time is really good with the infotainment system. And then aside from that, like I said, pretty easy to use. Everything's relatively self-explanatory as well with the infotainment system. Like if you want to change stuff with the climate controls, go there. If you want to see stuff with the car, go there, where you can see the couple different drive modes. We've got the normal, sport, and then the individual, which again, pretty cool. And then we've got our off-road mode as well. But yeah, I feel like overall it's pretty easy. Got a couple vents here for the climate system just down below, and then we've got a bunch of analog controls for the infotainment system. I love the kind of like feeling with the different buttons when you actually press them. Definitely feels cool, and it keeps turning on the volume. Aside from that, we've got our climate controls on either side of this trim as well. You guys can see dual zone climate, and then we do have heated and ventilated seats for the front passengers, and then the sport mode button, the suspension button, stability control, and then notice that this is for the shifter. You do have a manual shift function. That's what the paddles are for. Parking brake right here, and then notice that we've got blank switches, but they're not fully blank. You guys can see that's for the parking assistance, and then that is e-power, but this doesn't have it, but it still has like the font, which is pretty cool. Individual mode, and then more controls there for the side passenger than like max AC, for example. And then we've got some like storage space here. A couple cup holders here, and then we've got the center console, which is pretty decent on the storage side of things. Nice leather there at the top. And then coming over the glove box, lined with felt, and then nice kind of like feeling with the actual opening latch of the glove box, and the nice leather over here. And then I already showed you guys the dash, all of that, pretty nice. And then we will finish things here at the top. So full panoramic sunroof. The controls for it are just right here in the center portion, and that's all for the top. Now again, if you want the most up-to-date pricing on this particular Cayenne S, go check out Land Rover in Salt Lake's website in the description down below, where they will have that posted. And let's take her out and see how she drives. Let's quickly look at visibility before we set off here on the Cayenne S. There's your visibility over the hood, and then through both of the mirrors, and then here's throughout the rest of the rear. And I just realized this is definitely a cushiony headrest. Headrest aside, let's set off. We are setting off here in the 2019 Cayenne S, and I will be completely honest with you guys. This is probably, well, yes, I think this is actually the first Porsche SUV we have ever reviewed on the channel. So this is going to be kind of like all new for me. I don't really know what to think of it so far in terms of driving experience, so this will be kind of exciting to figure it out. So far, initially setting off, it feels actually pretty smooth. It definitely feels like a substantial vehicle around me. I definitely love this interior. The thing I will mention though is the leather in this, everything's very hard. Like, it's very smooth, but it's also very hard. And so it's not like a plush interior. You can tell that they definitely put like a hard edge to all the materials, because I guess it's supposed to be sportier because of that. Transmission's very quick, very smooth as well. Get quite a bit of noise from that little 2.9 liter V6. Doesn't sound bad whatsoever. I definitely like the noise characteristics with it. I actually want to pop it into the sport mode. There's a suspension setting where you can make the suspension firmer. I'll see what that feels like, but probably I'll put it back in the soft setting, because firm suspension is, that's not horrible, but soft setting it is, and in the sport mode. And we'll pop it over to the manual mode so we can see. Yeah, super quick with the gear shifts, and again, sounds pretty good from that little V6. Now, I really like the steering. I think that's definitely a high point here with the Cayenne S. Definitely has a nice weighted feel to it, but on top of that, it actually is very direct for an SUV. I can kind of feel with the just from the side to side motion so far, and we'll get a couple turns up here so I can really get a better feel for the steering. But I definitely like the feel of the steering so far in the Cayenne. And again, so far this kind of feels like an interesting vehicle. Again, it's like a luxury car, but at the same time it definitely is more on the sporty side. Like, this definitely has like just feels sportier. Yeah, super smooth with those gear shifts. I feel like the feel of the paddles, I just wish they were a little bit bigger. That would definitely be nice if the paddles were just a little bit bigger, but they feel very nice for what they are. Yeah, super quick with the downshifts too. Definitely a really good transmission from a gear shift perspective. Let's get our full-blown acceleration here with the Cayenne S. Wow. Definitely quick, sounds really good, and again, this just feels so torquey. I'm surprised that this is only a 2.9 liter V6 because it definitely feels punchier than that. It's got just really good power throughout, and it keeps on going. Definitely a fun engine for sure. I'm very impressed with that. And again, I really like the steering here with the Cayenne. It just has a nice feel to it. Yeah, those shifts are so seamless. Even in the wrong gear, it still has so much torque that it's just like, boom, let's go. That's basically what the Cayenne's saying, is just let's go. But let's get into summing things up. So first off, looks wise, I mean, it looks just like any other Porsche. Yeah, I love, oh my gosh. Yeah, Porsche did a really good job with this. Wow, really good. So yeah, exterior styling, it just looks like a Porsche. Not anything crazy out there, just looks like literally any other Porsche. Looks like something's flooding over here. And then in terms of the interior, definitely a nice interior. It's got nice leather everywhere. Like all the touch points are very nice. But again, everything just is very hard. Like all the leather is just very, very hard. So it's definitely interesting that they kind of chose that route. And then aside from the leather in the interior, from a driving perspective, really fun. Definitely a sportier SUV. I mean, this is a luxury car, but I would call it more of a sports luxury car rather than a luxury car, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So if you're looking for like a sportier driving SUV, Cayenne definitely is gonna be the route to go. And like I said, the Land Rover here in Salt Lake has this used one, $99.76 on the odometer. And yeah, that's all for the Cayenne S. Now that's going to sum things up for our video on this 2019 Porsche Cayenne S. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover Jaguar here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Cayenne S. Check out the inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.